Beep, 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 beep. Very bad video. Hi! For this video, I am going to renovate an old trunk. It was in reasonably good condition. The nice thing is it had all of its part, well, except for the key. They never seemed to come with a key. But it did have the inside drawer, and it wasn't in too bad a shape. It definitely needed to be cleaned up and redone. The nice thing about this was it had this beautiful old print in the lid of the trunk, and it was dated from 1918, so I know the trunk's at least 100 years old. To save this print that was very crumbly and warped, I dampened up cloth and basically ironed it flat. I know it's probably not the best way to preserve something this old, but I couldn't think of any other way. So I flattened it out. It did cause it to have subtle ripples in it, and then once it was flattened out, I covered it with some clear contact paper. Mainly I needed to do this because I didn't know how else I was going to get it up off of the back of this, but it did hold it together by basically gluing it in place. And then it was also made it easier for me to get out. I mixed some water with vinegar, sprayed the inside to get rid of some of that musty smell and to soften up the paper that was in there so I could scrape it off. Once the inside was cleaned up and scraped off, I painted the whole inside white. And then around the edges, you'll see in a little bit, I'm just going to keep talking, I painted it gold. I just wanted to have a little bit of pop and not the white pop too much. I wanted more antique, so I used this gold around the edges. The next thing after I got the inside painted, I went back to the inside shelf, this little box that lifted out, and rather than spray it, because this is made of cardboard, so I didn't spray it directly with the water, I just sprayed it on the cloth, cleaned it up, and you can see in there's a fold, because it does have a flap for the lid, and it was a little weak. This method that I actually ended up using to cover the whole box also worked for that flap on the lid, which is basically what I do is I take a satin finish clear coat varnish, or poly, I guess it's a poly something or the other, it's an acrylic clear coat, and I use it both as a glue and then as a sealant. So you just paint on a good thick coat of the clear coat, then you go ahead and put the fabric on, and then you paint the fabric on. The nice thing about it is it actually ends up, you don't have to worry, I mean, you want to try not to have any wrinkles, but because this is a cotton fabric, it'll shrink, and it shrinks and makes a nice tight little fit. Here I'm putting the edge around I think this is probably the lid that I'm putting the edge around right now. I covered both the lid and the bottom inside the same way with the same technique, as well as the insert drawer. Then I sanded the outside. Next, I decided I wanted to make this not just a trunk, I wanted to make it into a cabinet. So in order to do that, I was going to put on some legs, and to make sure that the legs, you know, this is an old trunk, I didn't know how sturdy it was, I put this board, I put 2 boards on the bottom, running the length of the bottom. You can't really see it from when the finished product, you can't see it at all, but it just added a little strength. So here I'm putting on the brackets. I also stained those boards, obviously, and then I am drilling from the top down into the boards with some, they're very attractive cabinet screws, I thought. The legs that I originally got for this, I decided I didn't like, but here I just wanted to show you that I'm putting the legs on, because it's going to have legs, so it looks more like a cabinet, less like a trunk. The last step I actually do is I paint it. I paint the wood with a semi-gloss. I paint the brown area between the slats with a satin, and then the black metal I touched up with some black paint, and I covered those with actually a half and half of the semi-gloss and satin, so that it was a little shiny, but not as shiny as the wood. And here's the finished product. I did put a frame around that picture, or that print, and I really liked the way it turned out. The print, not so much. I mean, I don't know what else I could have done, but there it is with this little frame. And here it is with the inside drawer, which was covered actually in a coordinating fabric. And that's about it. That's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, bye.